Hi, this is a little off topic. I'm going to do this video on natural ways that you can boost your immune system. Our immune system is one of the 11 body systems that God created to make our bodies function. A lot of people pay attention to their physical body structure, their muscles and skeleton structure with exercise, their digestive system, their nervous system and such, but they seldom think about their immune system. God created our immune system to ward off, to fight against bacteria and viruses, and to help ward off diseases and chronic illnesses. And when our body is bombarded with pollutants or free radicals or cell damage, that's when sicknesses, illnesses, and disease overcome us or overtake us. So the main points I want to point out are those that you need to think about and try to change with your diet, and then I'll get into a little bit more in depth with certain ones. All right. First of all, drink plenty of unchlorinated water. Tap water is bad, bad, bad. Okay. Also, I wanted to make a disclaimer here. The information I'm going to provide is by no means a suggested remedy or cure. It's for educational and informational purposes only. And it's information so that you can pray about it and seek the Lord and decide if it's something that you should do. All right. Tap water is bad, bad, bad. Chlorine is bad. It's an element on the periodic chart, but it's not a natural element that's in our bodies. Okay, and then they highly overchlorinate the public tap water. They have to get rid of the Giardia and other bacteria that may be in the water, or algae or such. And some of the bottled waters are just tap water that's highly chlorinated. Not to name names, but if it's not spring water, then don't buy the bottled water. It needs to be spring water. Okay, you can I'll get more into depth in that in a second. Avoid as many chemicals as you can, household cleaners, body products, pesticides, hormones, and food. Eat healthy. You are what you eat. Add lots of fresh, organic fruits and vegetables. Limit your bad fats, including canola oil, which is a highly, highly, highly overprocessed rapeseed, which is a weed. There is no canola plant. There's no such thing as canola. It's a made-up name that they try to make sound healthy, but it's not. It's a weed. It's called the rape seed. If you look on Jiffy and Skippy peanut butter, now they're putting rapeseed oil into those peanut butters. Okay, canola is in many chips, peanut butter, a lot of things, and it's just bad for you. It's a highly overprocessed weed. In its natural state, rapeseed is poisonous. So to get rid of the poison, they have to highly, highly process it at high temps, which basically makes it almost synthetic. So it's just bad for our body, and it does build up in your body. And it's one of the main causes of fibromyalgia and arthritis and just chronic pain. Okay, so avoid that, sugars and refined foods. Limit your stress and anger and pray. Get enough rest. Okay, 8 hours is good. 10 hours is good in the winter. You need a little more in the winter time. Avoid as many synthetic materials as possible. Wash your clothes before you wear them. Limit use of antibiotics, man-made drugs, and vaccinations. Exercise and up your antioxidants. And then my last point that I'll mention later is to use essential oils, therapeutic grade essential oils. I only use Young Living essential oils. A lot of other brands they have synthetics in them. They've been tested, or they're diluted, watered down. They're not as potent as they should be, thus they don't have the same healing properties. Okay, so the water, I've already talked to you about the chlorine. It's in there to do a purpose, but they have to over-chlorinate it sometimes in certain areas to get rid of everything. It's a main cause of thyroid disorders. My grandmother, my sisters, and even I, up until 2007, had to take, they still take a thyroid, um, a thyroid supplement, Levoxyl, and I was on that for like 3 years from 2004 to 2007. But I don't take it any longer since 2007. Um, and my thyroid is still under 4.5, so it's not, it's still functioning. And as long as I can live off medication, I will. All right. When they overchlorinate water, there can be a compound that forms called I can't say it, trihalomethanes, THMs, which causes birth defects, miscarriages, or infertility. So these byproducts trigger a production of free radicals in the body and cause serious cell damage. So I know my younger sister is like 6 years younger than me, and she has many different health issues. She should not have beginning stages of emphysema or arthritis or thyroid disorder, but she has all of those, and even rashes and symptoms of lupus. So just not healthy. And I believe it's a combination of the water and her diet, and then the exposure to chemicals. All right, so going on to exposure of chemicals, air out your house, open your windows, let the fresh air in when it's a nice day. There's pollutions in the home as well as outside, so you need to, balance it out. Of course, don't open your windows when there's chemtrails out there. And then you can diffuse, which is a cool mist, not a vaporizer, or humidifier, but a cool mist. You can diffuse some essential oils to kill bacteria and viruses in your home, in the air, and to purify the air. Okay, your diet. I already mentioned the canola oil. Bad. Use olive oil or coconut oil. You want to have low sugars. Use agave or organic sugar or honey as an alternative. Try to drink no sodas. I'm not always good on that, but if you're going to drink coffee, buy organic. Green tea is excellent. It's high in free radicals and plant phenols that help reduce cholesterol and kill off your free radicals in your blood. Lots of raw fruits and vegetables, organic. I can't express this enough because an example, if you're going to juicing is healthy if you're going to juice right. There's no sense in juicing 20 carrots that have pesticides all in them. Then if I eat 2 carrots with a meal that are not organic, I'm exposing myself to 2 carrots worth of pesticides, however much is in 2 carrots. If you juice 20 to make an 8 to 10 ounce glass of juice, you're exposing yourself to 10 times the amount that I just ate. So you're getting a higher quantity of not only the beta carotene that's in the carrots, but also the chemicals that are in those pesticides. If you go to whatsonmyfood.org, you can get FDA or USDA, results of different pesticides and the quantity of such on different fruits and vegetables. When I did this little PowerPoint presentation, 54 pesticide residues were found on strawberries and 9 on almonds. Okay, so organic fruits and vegetables, the price is not that much difference, folks. Comparatively, if you're going to spend like 59 cents a pound on bananas at Walmart, you can buy organic. Now, even Walmart is selling organic bananas. I know Target does. Trader Joe's does too. So instead of spending 59 cents a pound on regular bananas, you can buy organic bananas for 25 cents a banana or 99 cents a pound. So 40 cents more a pound. It's not that much, folks. You are what you eat, and you pay what you want. You pay what you want, you know. So if you want to eat healthy and have your kids and yourself healthy for longer, um, buy as close to natural as you can. Or you can grow a lot of your own fruits and vegetables. If you have enough, you know, plant some fruit trees. I have lettuce. It's February 25th, and I have lettuce. I have romaine lettuce that's like a foot tall right now. Even though, I mean, we're blessed with good weather, it's overly too hot here in California this winter. But I planted them in October, hoping that I could get, you know, some heads of lettuce before January. And sometime in December there was a freeze, and I had to cut the stalks. I cut all the they were only about 6 inches. I cut all the lettuce down because it had, some of them had frozen that one night, and we ate it. And then like after that one night, there was no more freeze, and they grew back, and some of the other seeds sprouted and grew. So now, right now, and on February 25th, I have like 10 heads of lettuce out there, and some are a foot high. So just find out. And celery, cabbage, lettuce, and carrots grow fine in cooler weather, or you can have a greenhouse. So you can grow a lot of, and zucchini grows abundantly. So you can grow a lot of your own vegetables too, and it's always a good thing to know how to plant and harvest your own fruit or vegetables rather, in case there's a lack of food at the stores and you come to a day where you need those. All right. Periodic cleansing and fasting is good. And so remember, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, preferably raw, and quality protein. Okay, stress and rest requirements. I already told you 8 hours of sleep, 10 hours in the winter. Get to bed early, don't stay up late. Also, you know, the Bible says a merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. And we need to, and God gave us a day of rest. We're supposed to take advantage of that and not to overdo ourselves. All right. And there's also essential oils. Lavender is an essential oil that helps your body produce its own melatonin naturally. So we all have melatonin, just different levels. And if we need more melatonin to help us sleep, to get a good night's rest, we can use lavender oil. If you're using natural melatonin from even a whole food store, any Whole Foods or natural store, it says natural melatonin because it's not synthetically made, but it's derived from bovine, which is cow brain. So it's melatonin taken from a cow and then given to you. And so if you're a vegan or vegetarian, it's something you might not want to use. And if you're worried about mad cow disease from eating the beef, then really worry about taking a brain derivative from a cow. Anyways, so let's try to have ourselves produce our own natural melatonin. Okay, reduce your exposure to man-made medicines and vaccinations. There's a whole nother video I can do on just vaccinations alone and antibiotics and such. But if you go to CDC.gov, you can read about what's in you can find the ingredients in different vaccinations, and I encourage you to do so. You know that they put preservatives in it, which is like thimerosal, which is a mercury derivative, adjuvants, which are aluminum salts, okay, to help stimulate the body's response, they say, to the antigens. Stabilizers like sugars and gelatins could be a reason why we have autoimmune diseases like diabetes, residual cell culture materials, eggs and proteins, milk proteins as well. Could be a reason why there's people that are allergic to eggs or milk, like my son, who also has autism. Residual cell culture, I already said that. Residual inactivating ingredients like formaldehyde. Why do they need formaldehyde? That's what they put in dead people to embalm them, to kill viruses or inactivate toxins during the manufacturing process. they got to kill the virus first. If it's killing the virus, it could be doing damage to your healthy cells too. Residual antibiotics, penicillin, sulfa drugs. I'm allergic to sulfa. Is anyone allergic to penicillin? Could be, because your body built up an immune response to those things that were included in some vaccinations that you've had in the past or when you were born. If I knew then what I knew now, I would not have had my sons vaccinated. And then you're like, oh, how could you say that? Okay, well, let's say I didn't have my kids vaccinated. They were, but what if they weren't? Okay, if my kids get chickenpox, but you believe in vaccinations and they've had all their vaccinations, what does me not vaccinating my kids have to do with you? If my kids get chickenpox, your kids should be fine because you got vaccinations, right? So it really doesn't affect anyone but the parents and the children of that family. And I believe it should be an individual choice, not a government mandate. All right. A whole nother issue on, like I said, on vaccinations, but in my study and research and as well, I mean, just looking at the ingredients that are in here, people that have autoimmune disorders, diabetes, arthritis, lupus, allergies, egg, milk, antibiotics, and then neurological problems, autism, Asperger's, or brain damage. A lot of these probably were caused from vaccinations and the immune response to the ingredients in the vaccinations. We do know that one of the ones, the swine flu vaccine that was popular in 2011, creates that the neurological disorder that even healthy people would get after they received the vaccination. It was the same back in the late 60s, early 70s when the swine flu vaccination came around, and then when they started to introduce it again in 2011. Okay, well, part of the reason is one of the adjuvants that they put in there was like a squalene material. It's to help stimulate the body's response to the antigens that they're introducing into the body. Okay, well, your body has a natural squalene substance, the liquid that's surrounding your brain, the liquid layer that's protecting the brain and in the spinal cord. Okay, now when it's injected into your bloodstream right here, normal pathways for a virus are either respiratory through your mouth, trachea into the bronchial tubes, into your lungs, or through the mouth into the stomach, into the digestive system. Okay, when you inject your flus directly into the bloodstream, and that's why they were turning more and more into the nasal virus sprays. But when you inject yourself into the bloodstream, you're injecting those all those products into your bloodstream where they're not normally introduced. It's a direct injection into your system. So yeah, your body's going to have an immune response to those viruses and whatever else is in there. Okay, well, the adjuvant that they add to help stimulate the body's response to the antigens in the vaccination, the adjuvant that they add is like a squalene. It's the consistency of radiator coolant, and that's like the natural squalene that you have in your brain, the same consistency. Okay, well, so your body reacts to everything that's in the vaccination, and some people who have a low immune system or a weak immune system, or they have an overreactive response to the vaccination. Either way, if their immune system's not working 100% normal, then it's going to react to that adjuvant as well, and it's going to attack it, and it might get confused and attack the adjuvant, the natural squalene that's surrounding the brain and in the spinal cord, which causes that neurological problem that is incurable. So, and if you didn't get a swine flu vaccine in 2011, but you get the yearly vaccination, the yearly flu vaccination, they added the swine flu vaccination to the yearly vaccination in 2012, and they just didn't tell you. So, I personally don't recommend, and I don't get the yearly flu vaccination. You're subjecting yourself to all these different ingredients that you just don't need. And when they give you the yearly flu vaccination, there's usually about 3 on average flus that they're vaccinating you against, taking the trajectory of the most common viruses that are headed your way that flu season. There's hundreds of viruses though. They're just taking a guess that these 3 or these 4 or whatever are going to be the most prominent viruses in your area. So then they prepare that flu vaccine with those flus. Okay, so you get the vaccination. You may or may not have bad reactions to it. Okay, and then supposedly you're resistant against those viruses. But then, so those are viruses A, B, C, and then E comes along or Z comes along. You're still going to get sick. Okay, and it's going to go through the natural route of your respiratory or your digestive system, and then you're going to be able to, your body is going to respond to it and do what it was meant to do and build up. It's going to fight off the virus, and it's going to build up immunities. Okay, but it's not going to be from an indirect or abnormal route or cause any other health issues. All right, exercise 20 to 30 minutes at least 3 days a week. It helps oxygenate the blood. We all know that we need oxygen. That's what our red blood cells do, is carry oxygen to all cells and organs of our body. Keeps the lymphatic system healthy by moving out the waste. And also on water, I don't know if I mentioned it, but our body's made up of 90% water. So water, H2O, has oxygen in it. It's vital that we have water to keep our blood supply at the normal levels so that we don't get dehydrated, and so that the heart has to work harder and the brain doesn't have enough oxygen. First sign of dehydration is headache, so drink water to keep your body healthy, and exercise. Okay, we want to build up our immune system with using natural antioxidants. Everybody knows there's beta carotene in carrots, D-limonene in lemon peel. There's vitamin C in oranges or orange juice. We know that there's healthier fruits like the red berries and blueberries are higher in antioxidants, which are antioxidants are molecules capable of inhibiting the oxidation of other molecules. Oxidation is a chemical reaction that transfers electrons or hydrogen from a substance to an oxidizing agent. Oxidation reactions can produce free radicals. In turn, these radicals can start chain reactions. When the chain reaction occurs in a cell, it can cause damage or death to the cell. So the antioxidant value on foods listed are expressed in ORAC. ORAC is oxygen radical absorbance capacity. How high that substance is in absorbing those free radicals and getting rid of them. So it's a unit of measure for antioxidants developed by the National Institute on Aging and the National Institutes on Health. Okay, raw blueberries on the ORAC score are 4,669. Dried ground clove is 312,400. Clove oil, therapeutic clove oil, is 10,786,875. So eating raw organic blueberries, which cost maybe like what, $3 for a little pint, a little basket, $3 for a little basket of raw blueberries is over 4,000 on the ORAC score chart. Clove oil, 1 drop of clove oil is over 10 million. With Young Living, I think a clove oil is about $17 for a 15 milliliter bottle, which is about 290 drops. So $17 for 290 days of antioxidants. So really, it's not that expensive when you compare it to having to buy organic, fresh fruits and vegetables. All right, So why use essential oils? My last point. So we talked about water, food, staying away from canola oil, and the healthy foods, organic, um, natural medicines versus synthetic medicines. We talked about the vaccinations. I'll talk a little bit right now about synthetic medications as well. Exercise, reduce your stress, sleep, and then antioxidants, and then why use essential oils? Well, they're the oldest plants, herbal plants and oils. Plant oils are the oldest known source of medications. Mesopotamia, since begin in Exodus chapter 30 with the holy anointing oil that the Lord had Moses make, to frankincense, myrrh, and gold that the wise men brought baby Jesus 2,000 years ago, to 5,000 years ago with the Egyptians, the pharaohs, and the pyramids that were robbed. The essential oils were stolen before the gold. American Indians, Asian cultures, and even in Europe today, in many hospitals, they disinfect and use essential oils. Why use essential oils instead of synthetic medications? Okay, well, there's science behind the essential oils, and I don't have time to go into all of that now. Perhaps in another video, or you can ask me, and I'll put maybe some links to some information for you to read. But there's natural chemical constituents that are in plant oils that are of medical benefits to our body, medicinal benefits to our body. We know that there's vitamin C in oranges, D-limonene in lemon peel, beta-carotene in carrots. Okay, so we know there's good benefits from fruits and vegetables. Well, it's not just the vitamins and the minerals that we can get from these fruits and vegetables, but it's also the oils, the sap, the living material, that's the ingredients of the plant in the leaves itself, and sometimes the flowers, that give us these healing properties. God created them that way. I believe that when he made the garden, it was perfect. He made the plants for our food. He tells us in Genesis that the fruits of the trees and the leaves of the plants would be as meat for us. Okay, so we were created to be vegetarians until after the flood, when he allowed us to eat meat, but it wasn't processed or genetically modified or highly infused with antibiotics and hormones after the flood either. So those are all added that make our meat less healthy. So you need to buy healthier meats too. Anyways, he created the plants for our food. We know that we give the plants carbon dioxide, and then they give us oxygen. So they give us air, they give us food, and I believe, and it's been shown in the Bible, there's 188 verses for essential oils, and we see them being used as medicine. So he created, and even in Ezekiel, when in the millennium period, when Jesus reigns here on earth, after the tribulation, during the millennium, there's still going to be humans that are living, that live those 1,000 years while the resurrected Christians are ruling and reigning with Christ. There's going to be 12 trees that are by the river of life that have fruit. The fruits are for the food for the people, and the leaves are for the healing of the nation. So he's going to even use plants for healing in the millennium when he's living here with us. He could just heal them. They could just ask and they could be healed. But he's going to use the plants, the leaves of the trees, for their healing. Okay. There's no harmful side effects for herbal or essential oil medicines. If your body doesn't need it, it'll simply eliminate it like it does vitamin C. Your body will just flush it out. They're concentrated. You only have to use small amounts. And if you don't need it for one thing, if you don't need lavender for sleep, perhaps you need it for pain, your body will use it for what it needs. Okay? Your cells communicate with each other. You have trillions of cells in your body that communicate with each other all the time. When there's a lack of communication, or they're clogged with waste, okay, they're not being cleaned properly, or there's cell damage, DNA damage specifically, that's when sicknesses, disease, and even cancer start creeping in. Okay, so let me see. I probably forgot something that I wanted to say, but anyways, if you're interested in learning more about any of the information that I've given you, I'll try to remember all the links to post with the things I've talked about, the CDC website, the water, and I'll give you the website. I am a Young Living wholesale member. You can be too. It only takes signing up under somebody that's already a member, buying a $40 or higher kit, and then you only have to spend $50 a year. You don't have to sell, you don't have to advertise, you don't have to. I like to tell people because I believe it's one of the ways to be healthy. I was sick yesterday with some kind of virus that attacked my muscles. I felt like half my 600 muscles in my body were in pain, and I couldn't move, and I had a fever. And that was 24 or 28 hours ago. And I prayed for God to heal me. I knew it was a virus because it came on quick, and I had a fever, and my neck was hurting, and my neck hurt. I had a headache. My throat started to hurt. I felt sick to my stomach, although I didn't get sick. And then I started getting a fever. I had the chills, and then I felt hot. And so I prayed first. I went to the Lord, and then I used some oils. I used lavender, frankincense, and Ravensara, which is the healing oil of Madagascar. It's one of their oils that they know works for healing. It's a high antiviral. So I used those, and my husband put them on my feet, and then he prayed for me. And I know the Lord healed me because yesterday at this time I was laying in bed in pain, and it was hard. It was just hard to move, and I had a fever, and I just did not feel good. I felt literally like my body was just like it was just poisoned. And God's good. So anyways, I just feel I like to share because there are natural ways that you can help. And for God to heal me in 24 hours, I know it's him because he can do all things. But he did create the plant oils, and he did create the plants. And I know there's healing properties in the plants, just like there's healing properties in vitamin C. That's why people drink it. It prevents scurvy. And there's healing properties in vitamin D. It helps our bodies change the cholesterol. Actually, the cholesterol collects the vitamin D collects sunlight and produces vitamin D in our bodies. And vitamin D helps prevent bone disorders as we're growing, when we're children. And it also helps keep our immune system healthy. And we get calcium from different foods, milk products and yogurt and such, and that helps with healthy bones and teeth. So all these vitamins and minerals are essential in our daily foods, in our diet, and some of these we can get from higher concentrated plant oils, is what I'm saying. So if you want more information, I'll put the link to our website. You can watch videos or learn more about it. But again, in conclusion, unchlorinated water, avoid chemicals, eat healthy, organic, and non-GMO, and no antibiotic or hormone-laden meat or food, no canola oil, no refined foods or sugars. Try to eat natural sugars. Limit your stress and anger. Get enough rest. Limit your antibiotic, man-made drugs and vaccinations. Exposure to chemicals, exercise, and up your antioxidants, and you can use essential oils. Another thing I was going to say about, I was going to mention again about the man-made, over-the-counter stuff. An example, aspirin. Aspirin is a synthetic form of methyl salicylate, which is a natural chemical that the Indians used to chew on willow leaves. The white sap in the willow leaves has a natural occurring methyl salicylate. So if they had a toothache or they had pain somewhere, they would chew on a small willow branch or the willow leaves, and it would take away the pain. Okay, um, especially of the wintergreen tree or such. All right, so in a lab, they make a synthetic form of methyl salicylate and they make aspirin. Okay, well, it's going to work. It's going to take care of your pain, okay, because that's what that chemical is supposed to do. But it's synthetic, so some of the properties of that chemical is going to have to be stored and filtered out through your liver. Whereas if you use wintergreen oil, which is about 88% methyl salicylate in its natural form, if it's distilled properly, you're going to have a higher concentration of methyl salicylate, but it's not synthetic. So you can use it to rub on your muscle for pain, or to rub on your forehead for a headache or such. And it's going to do the same thing aspirin does, because it's the same natural methyl salicylate. It's the same chemical, but it's natural, not synthetic. So it's going to do the same thing because it's the same chemical, but you're not going to have to store it and excrete it slowly through your liver. It's just going to filter right out through your kidneys and your urine, just like vitamin C. So you won't have a buildup of it in your body, and you won't become toxic. Like the one girl who died, she was on high school track, and she died from overuse of icy hot, because it has methyl salicylate, has aspirin in the icy hot rub for the muscles, because it takes care of the pain, but it's synthetic, so it builds up in your liver, and you can become toxic. She obviously used it way too much, but you'll never get that with a natural, pure therapeutic grade essential oil, because your body will just eliminate it quickly, like it does vitamin C. All right, so I hope it's been helpful and beneficial. If you have questions, you can leave a message or email me. And thank you, and God bless.